Welcome to Red and Green, the podcast. How you doing?
I'm good. How was your week?
Pretty good. Busy, but very productive. How was your week?
Terrible.
I'm sorry about that. What happened?
What didn't? No, I'm just kidding. I shouldn't say what didn't because more could happen.
I mean, for real.
One, I ate a food that I wasn't supposed to eat, and I got sick as a dog.
Okay.
No good.
Mm-hmm.
Two, my house flooded.
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah. You know, when you walk into your dining room and there's water coming in the front.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if it's a bathroom, you understand it.
Right.
But it's like, it's not a hurricane. It's not a storm. Nothing's happened.
Right.
So what is happening? Why is my house flooding?
Mm-hmm.
You want me to tell you why my house is flooding? I want to tell you. I'm going to give the listeners a lesson that kind of shocked me.
Okay.
So, I've got a tree. We live in Florida. And I have a tree that is not a palm. I don't know what it is. I think it's a maple. Yeah, it's a maple. And it's huge. You know the tree in front of my house is huge, right?
Right.
It's taller than 2 stories.
Mm-hmm.
And a big tree has big roots.
Right.
Isn't that what my daddy used to tell me because I was tall?
Mm-hmm.
That I had big feet because I had a solid base. And that's why I needed to have big feet because I was tall.
Wow.
I would like the world to know that my foot is an average size. But I thought they were big when I was smaller. Anyway. But, so apparently what happens, you can get a small water leak in a pipe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, trees are smart. And they're seeking out the water. So the roots start going towards the pipe.
Right.
To get the water source. Therefore, then they go through it. Well, a root through a pipe blocks it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's not going in.
Right.
Like, then the water comes in the house. So, I have big fans downstairs in my house to the tune of like 4.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, whoa, making it sound like that. 24/7. The guinea pigs are now in my living room.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is displaced. Everything that I had that was like a decoration in my dining room
Right.
is now in my craft room.
Right.
And so I can't go in my craft room, which is like my personal sanctuary abode.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went into my personal sanctuary abode, and apparently because the fans are so loud, my kids have been eating in there, which then makes me even madder. Because now I have crumbs, and my sanctuary abode has been violated with pesto sauce and crumbs.
Those are some issues.
I mean, listen, I'm irritated.
I can hear it. There's some issues going on.
And, you know, like, you don't want to file an insurance claim,
Right.
but then do you? For the stuff that's messed up? Or do you just pay for it? I'm choosing to pay for it right now, which then makes me irritated even more.
I'm sorry you've had a bad week, then.
Me too. Me too.
Lord.
But what I will say is this. Look, you asked me how I was. I am going to tell you.
Okay.
Then, this week, you know what this week is?
What?
My last week of school.
Your last week of school?
Well, for the semester. And then I have 3 weeks off.
Oh, gotcha. Good.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So excited.
Good. So
I'm
you can
burnt out.
relax. Yeah.
You know what you should never do?
What?
I literally told a professor this on one of my assignments today.
What?
You should never work full-time, parent full-time, and go to school full-time in a summer session.
And then throw a podcast on top of it.
I mean, honestly. But I mean, honestly.
That's okay, but we champs and we handle it. You handle it. So that's good.
I mean, am I?
I just said you were.
I've got on a dress shirt and sweatpants right now, so I might not be handling it real good. No, but it has been stressful. So, anybody who's listening, I would seriously cover your prayers right now. It's been a lot.
You got this.
So, we have decided what we're going to do this week because of the influx of emails and questions.
A lot of questions. Yeah.
That we're going to answer a few. Yes.
Yep.
And do you have them pulled up on your phone, Jeff?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm making sure you's ready.
Mm.
You want to read the first one?
Sure. I won't say the person's name. But-
FYI, if you want us to say your name, or if you're okay with saying your name, just say that you are
okay.
okay with saying your name, and then we'll say it. But
The first question is, what's up, guys? My question is this. I hear what all you both do, working, jobs, and now the podcast. Do you have downtime? How do you stay motivated to do it all?
no,
You go first, Christy.
no, I don't. I don't have downtime. I'm lying. I do have downtime. Really and truly, I work because I have to work. So that's like my job is I get to work at like 7:05, 7:10, and I'm there till 5.
Mm-hmm.
I have my day set up in sections. So I have like in my brain, they're like in my brain sections. So it's 7 to 8. I set up my day. I check to see what happened the night before because the way my job is, that's what I do. And then once that part's done, I walk a little bit. Like I go on a 10-minute walk. Then I do 8 to 10, 10 to 12, 1 to 3, 3 to 5. And I kind of divide my day in chunks like that. And do everything I need to get done in it. I plan my homework like the way that, well, college, I guess you know. I don't know if all colleges work this way, but like I see my assignments like on Canvas and stuff. So I plan those out as much as I possibly can.
Many are like that. Yeah.
For the most part, I can plan it out and say like on Tuesday I'm doing this. I do have downtime, yes, but it's not like I have a weekend off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like on the weekend, a lot of times I do homework on Saturday mornings.
Right.
And then I try to make Sunday a day of nothing, but normally I still kind of have to do some homework on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
But like just a day of rest like the Lord intended. You know what I mean? Like I try to do something enjoyable that day, have fun, hang out, go to a park, watch a movie, relax, but also kind of prep. I also do home grocery delivery, which I highly recommend. Did I answer all those on my end?
Yes, and how do you stay motivated to do it all?
I'm not motivated. No, I'm just kidding. No, I think because like work I have to do to feed my family.
Mm-hmm.
School is a commitment. And I mean, I graduate in the spring, so like that's like I have to do it too.
Right.
The podcast, like I love it. So that's easy to stay motivated. Ask me how I'm motivated to like do my dishes or laundry. I'm not motivated, but that's just because I have to.
Right. Now, for me, do I have downtime? Yes, I do have downtime. I'm learning how to do work-life balance because it's hard for me. It always has been hard because I'm so driven and I'm hyper. I love just doing stuff. So there are times in which I literally force myself to have downtime, be it going to the gym or be it watching a show or going for a walk or something like that. So I make a conscious effort to have downtime, even though it's, sometimes it's inconsistent, but I do have it. How do I stay motivated to do it all? It's one reason why I'm motivated to do it all is because it's one of those things in which I feel like I'm making a contribution. And that's really big for me. How can I contribute to better someone else's life through my own, and so that's pretty big for me. Now, and more specifically, the podcast, this podcast has nothing to do with my career. So that's a different motivation for me, because my career is totally different. So when I come to the podcast side, okay, on one side I'm Dr. Redding, here I'm Jeff, and so for that it's how can you motivate and inspire someone through it not being your job, in other words, So those things just keep me motivated, finding different ways to contribute and to grow. But also learning what your limits are. I'm learning what my limits are, and how am I most effective? And that's when you learn, this is too much or that's not too much, or you learn and you kind of figure that stuff out as you go. So I'm really motivated for it all right now. But we'll see. It's been going on. It's been fine so far.
Did you answer all yours?
Yeah.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So, one thing I'd like to say that you do that I have noticed that you're much better at me than. I'm not good. You go to the gym, you go for walks, there's many times that we have talked and it's like, hey, what are we going to talk about later? And you're like, hey, well, and I'm like, what are you doing? And then I hear boom. Well, what I think we should, boom. And you're like throwing a medicine ball.
Right.
And I'm like, why are you on the phone? Like, what are you doing? And so you kill two birds with one stone a lot of the time?
Right.
I guess what I'm saying is you will work, even though this isn't your career.
Right.
You will work. Do you consider that part of your downtime when you're working in your downtime?
It depends on what I'm working on. If I'm planning a program for one of my choirs and I'm listening through music as I'm working out, so some that may be work. For me, that's relaxation, because I'm listening to the music and I'm enjoying what I'm doing, and I'm putting together a program that I love to do. So that's exciting to me. So I don't see that as work. You know what I'm saying? Now, if I'm working on a rehearsal schedule, now that's work. But me picking rep, music, I'm like, okay, this is good. This, that's my career, and what I love doing. So if I can do it, or if I'm riding my bike or something like that, if I'm doing that, that's great for me because it gets me in a mood. It gets me in, and so that's when you sort of just that part. Then that kind of transform into what are your boundaries? You know what I'm saying? In terms of that work-life balance or the mental health issue, you know what I'm saying? Of I'm not going to take phone calls that's going to stress me out because that's my time. You know what I'm saying? If it's work stuff, that's my time, and so therefore I've gotten better. I said that can wait, or that can never happen. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because if it takes me off of what I need to do and it affects my mental health, I am no good for anyone. So you try to figure out what your peace is. Where do you find your peace of mind and still be motivated and still go on and stuff. So,
something that I have noticed that I don't know if I say I have a problem doing, but probably I have a problem doing is it happened when we were talking today, trying to figure out what time we were going to meet up. We were on the phone and I got a notification on my Canvas app, which is my school app.
Right.
And it was a message from my professor. You were talking, and I don't know what you said because I couldn't. It's like a lag. I try to multitask.
Right.
And then, I'm doing this one thing in the air, and then I have this other thing, and then sometimes they go, and they just splat. And so I had to be like, I got to go. I got to handle this, and I will call you back. But that was big for me, not trying to do it at the same time.
Exactly.
To say, hey.
You have to know what your limit is. And everybody have to be... It's like this. You have to know what your limit is and be okay with anyone who is not okay with your limit.
That's hard.
You know what I'm saying? And
that takes practice, though.
It has to be okay with you that they're not okay. Because at the end of the day, whatever you don't get done, you are the one that have to deal with the consequences of it being incomplete, not the other person.
Right.
So for me, I'm like, okay. But it took a long time for me to get there. And I still struggle with it sometimes. It's like I was trying to figure out, okay, we got to do a podcast when we're going to, because I know I had X amount of time to do what I need to do. You have. And then it's okay, how can we make this and then go? And then you had to go. I wasn't bothered because I understood, because I've been in those shoes. So it's like, it is what it is. Next question. How do you fit in? You both seem so well adjusted. I don't know why she's laughing. I'm sorry. I don't know how to make friends. I don't know how to talk to people. I feel alone a lot of the time. I just want to fit in with people rather than feeling like an outcast. Let you go first.
Well, that's sad.
The first thing, yeah. The first thing is how do you fit in?
I don't.
Can you give me more than that?
I mean, no, to be honest,
I don't.
I don't. And I will pride myself on not fitting in. I don't want to be I did want to for a long time. I wanted to be like a cookie cutter princess Barbie, like, here's a cute little sweet whatever. Now, I like me. You know, me and you, night and day.
Right.
Like, I hope mommy ain't listening to this one. But like my mother, bless her heart.
Bless it.
She hates tattoos. She hates it. I love them. And so I have them.
Okay.
I don't. The thing that I'm saying is this. I was getting ready to go down a rabbit trail. I pulled myself back. High five. I'm progressing right there. But I've stopped trying to fit in with what other people think I should be and doing me real good.
Right.
Like, I'm really focused on being the best me that I can be. So whether I am, if I'm comfortable with tattoos, if I'm comfortable in leather pants and, I don't know, I was trying to think of a poncho, whatever it is that I want to wear that day. If I'm feeling like my best version of me, you're going to get the best version of me.
Right.
But let me tell you this. This is a true story. I don't know if I've ever told you this story. You're going to laugh.
Okay.
So, back in the day before I ever knew who you were, me and my friend Chrissy went to a place called Brock's. It was in Fredericksburg, Virginia.
Okay.
And it was like a restaurant / nightclubby place. But you wanted to look nice when you went. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a nightclub, like a party club. But we had went out that night. We went with the Spotsylvania JCs. So it was like the young, up-and-coming business people of Fredericksburg. Well, like a lady, I wore some Spanx. You know what Spanx are?
Yes.
Okay. It wasn't. We went through the dinner. We got home. I could not get the Spanx off. Like, she took scissors. We laugh about this to this day. And literally cut them off me when we got home.
Oof.
I was like a busted can of biscuits for real. Like,
did you say a busted can of biscuits?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I just had a visual of busted cans of biscuits.
But I have never been, the whole time that they were talking, my oxygen was cut off. They say that they didn't roll. They lied. They rolled. The top was rolling down. I felt like I had a string tied around my waist. It was the most terrible experience. And I said to her that day, and if I'm lying, I'm dying. This will be the last time I ever wear Spanx because I have never been so uncomfortable in my life. And I was not the best version of me. I was literally, and I ain't judging nobody that wears a Spanx. Like, I ain't saying nothing like that. I'm saying for me, though, like, some people feel good in them. To me, I felt like I was going to die. Like, this is how it ends. If I'm completely uncomfortable with who I am, you're not going to get the best version of me.
Right.
So I make sure I'm comfortable all the time.
Right.
And if I'm not comfortable, like, we've all seen men and women alike. So I don't mean this as in a sexist way. If you're pulling at your skirt and pulling it down, or a man is pulling his pants up, because they're too baggy, or if you're adjusting yourself all the time because you're uncomfortable in your clothes, you don't look great, right? When it looks natural is when you look your best.
Right.
So when you're comfortable, so my goal, number one, is to be comfortable.
So
with me.
Before I go to the next question, the next part of this question, I'm going to answer that part. How do you fit in? I used to always try to fit in, and it was always hard for me. Hyper, silly, goofy, sensitive, emotional. That's my personality. And so I would always try to fit in circles that didn't want to accept me. And it took me many, many years to be okay with that. there are times now it's still a struggle. So I'm not going to say that once you're over it, you're done. For me, I've come a long way, but I still have to remind myself, that it's okay being me. And at the end of the day, if someone wants to be around me, for me, that means they're meant for me, as opposed to having a facade of showing someone that who I'm not. And they want to be friends with someone who I falsely showed. So I'm learning how to be Jeff, and who that is. And so that's hard. That is a hard thing that I'm not gonna. That oftentimes people think that because you are successful, that you don't have that struggle. Yeah, you do. You may not admit it, and that's fine. Yes, you do, because it is what it is. But we must continue to grow. We must continue to understand that you're maybe not meant to fit in. Why do you try to fit in with other folks when people should try to fit in with you? And that's the whole thing. Or how about this? Just be you and realize that you are enough, and you are worthy of loving and being loved. And so I'm trying to practice what I preach. So, which is also a struggle. Okay, so the next thing is you ask how I don't know how to make friends. How do you make friends?
Me?
Yeah.
I get my hair done. No, I'm kidding.
I'm like, wow.
And on to you. How do you make friends, Jeff?
That friendship don't last long.
It has. 10 years.
No, I'm talking about every time you get your hair done. We ain't friends until you get your hair done again.
No. To be fair, I guess it depends on the definition of friends.
Yeah.
I've got probably on both hands people that I would really call friends. Beyond that, I have a lot of acquaintances that I care about. But to be honest, like my friends, my little core group, so like I'll give them a holler. Rachel, Tamra, Michelle, and everybody knows Michelle. I put her third on purpose because I've talked about her like 8 times. She's the one who makes my hair amazing. Crystal, that Jen, that group of girls that are here in Orlando that I'm friends with, I can see them all the time or not.
Right.
I can talk to them. We have had group texts, and then, like the last time I saw Crystal was at my friend Michelle's birthday. Before that, it'd been 6 months. But it was like I had not seen her, or like we had just seen each other the day before. So the thing is, I keep open communication, but I also understand that, like, the people that I'm friends with, I don't expect them to drop everything for me. Unless it's something drop worthy.
Right.
But in turn, I reciprocate that I would drop for them.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? But don't expect them to drop everything for me unless it's drop worthy.
Right. My thing is, and one thing I've learned, and I learned in school, one of my classes was talking about this situation, and one of my professors said, if you have 5 friends for your true friends for your whole life, you are lucky. And I find that to be true. My circle is small. My circle is small by design. It's a small circle that I can go to, and I can talk to people who know Jeff. I have a lot of acquaintances and a lot of associates, and they're wonderful, wonderful people. But true friends, your ride or dies. You know what I'm saying? Thick and thin. It's not fair weather friends. Judging your imperfections or, but they're just there, small group, and that's how I like it. When I was younger, or even in my early adulthood, I wanted all friends, and I was like, why don't you like me? What did I do to you? Anywhere, and I would go home and I would cry because I could not wrap my head around, you not liking me from the standpoint of saying I wasn't mean to you. Sometimes people just don't like us. They don't like you. You don't like everybody. So it's like you just, I had to get to a point because I was so, and I still struggle sometimes with this, is about, I was so concerned about what people thought of me because I was always trying to come from a good place till I realized people get to think what they want to think and you still got to go forward. You want to say something?
Yeah, well, on both of those things. One, I saw a TikTok. Don't roll your eyes.
I just did.
I saw a TikTok, and it was this guy, and he said, I spend so much time worrying about what everyone thinks of me and if they like me or not. Mm-hmm. When in all actuality, I hate most people.
Well, that's kind of strong.
I mean, it's strong, but I mean, I think that there is some truth to that people are so concerned if other people like them when they really don't affect their life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But also, on the second part of that, as to what you said, I've got, like, my friends are, the 5 I just said, but then, like, Jacqueline and Chrissy, who I've been friends with for years, Brooke, who I've been friends with for years, I know that they'll tell me, you're being extra, stop it. Mm-hmm. They'll also be like, that looks terrible on you, take it off. That hairstyle is awful. You know what I mean? Like, it's time to get Botox. I've got friends like that will say things, and if they might say things that are harsh, but the reason that they're saying things are harsh is because they love me, and I know that. And that's a thing too. A lot of people, when you feel like you might not have friends, is it because you're alienating relationships of people who are just telling you the truth?
Well, at the end of the day, for me, and I get what you're saying.
I don't mean you.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, for me, it's like, you can tell me the truth, but you ain't got to be harsh to me. Because at the end of the day, listen, if you want you speak to me in a nice way, okay.
Well, no, they're not mean when they say it, but I'm saying like if I said, baby girl, you're looking a little, you might want to get that Botox in because that thing's showing up. And you're going to get a picture made, you're going to get mad. I'm telling you, it's time. That's what I'm saying is that, or, like, hey, I'll never forget me and Michelle. We went to dinner one time. And she said to me, and I swear to God, if I'm lying, I'm dying. I swear to God, this is what she said. She goes, hey, we sat down. Like, we ordered our drinks, still looking at the menu. And she goes, I got to say something to you. I was like, yeah. And she goes, you were kind of snippy with me this week and you really hurt my feelings. Are you mad at me? What's going on? Shook me. I started crying at the table. I was like, oh my gosh, what do you mean? I had been hateful to her. It kind of had set her back. I didn't mean to be. It was just like, it was one of those things where like you intended it one way and it came across another way. Be okay to have open communication with people that you're friends with too. Right. And hear it.
Right.
Because the first thing I did was apologize. Whether I meant to be hateful or not, which I didn't mean to, she felt like it. So she deserves an apology. Like, I did not mean to make you feel that way. And I'm sorry.
Right. I remember, and just before I move to the next question, to add one more thing to it, I don't know, when you said, I don't know how to make friends. The thing is, just be authentically you. Hello, my name is blah, 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 blah. And just find something to talk about. Sometimes you can't judge yourself in the middle of, and when you're talking to somebody, if they won't like that, they won't like. No, just say, hey, I want to be a friend. Can we go out, for dinner, or can we go watch a game, or can we, or find something in common? And oftentimes you can be friends with somebody that you have nothing in common with, and sometimes that gives you a break. You can just have conversations that are just frivolous. I don't know how to so that's one thing that you really can do. Another one is, I don't know how to talk to people. I guess we just answered that also. From my standpoint, and again, this is no expert, just talking, I don't know how to talk to people. I've gone through that. And so it's one of the things where I try to talk to some people and I didn't know what to say. And they looked at me with the blankest face in the world. Like nothing. Hello, how you doing? My name is Jeff. And they're like, you're bothering me by speaking with me. And then from there, I feel like, okay, I move on. And you need to understand that. Try to talk to people. They give you a little mean mug. sometimes maybe that's not who you need to be trying to be friends with. And that's okay.
And you didn't do nothing wrong by trying.
Yeah, you didn't do nothing wrong. And so be careful when you say, I don't know how to talk to people. You literally labeling yourself. And no one is perfect. Don't label yourself that way. It's just, I feel alone with this one. I feel alone a lot of the time.
Okay. I'm going to let you take that one. Because I think I want to feel alone for a minute.
Okay.
And I got 3 kids and a lot going on.
Well, the thing about it is, I have been, first of all, that is a normal feeling. Feeling alone. I have been in a room with, it can be 100 people, and I still feel alone. So it's, so it's a thing in which it's perspective. The question is, why do you feel alone? For me, I was around people I didn't want to be around, or I was around people that I want to be around, but I was in a certain headspace and just didn't feel like being there. So there are sometimes, if you're a person that's an introvert and you're good just one-on-one, you find that one person that, you can just kind of hang out with. But you have to put yourself out there and not be afraid of rejection. And oftentimes people feel alone like that when they're afraid of rejection, or they have been rejected so much in their past, and so on and so forth. It's just a friendship. You just be someone's friend. Or now you don't have to be a friend. Just an acquaintance. Hell, how you doing? Sometimes you have a conversation, and that can grow into friendships or whatever. It's something that you just have to constantly work at, and don't count up the negatives or the times that someone said, no, thank you. I'm gonna transfer to my music world, and it's something that was taught called 80-20, and it has to do with, let's say, like 100 people is in a concert and my choir is singing, and 99 people love it, but one does not. I end up giving all my energy to the one person who did not, and I literally ignore the 99. Why do you give your power away? The question is, why do you give your power away to someone who doesn't deserve it? I feel alone a lot of the time. Could it be that you are depositing yourself into folks who don't deserve your time, and therefore you're literally maybe ignoring the people who are clapping for you and supporting you? Could it be that? I don't know. So that's just something to think about.
Listen, you nailed it. I don't know what you just pointed at me. What you want me to say?
Okay, well,
I ain't got nothing on that.
And I want to say this to you. I just want to fit in with people rather than feeling like an outcast. How about, it's nothing wrong? You're going to fit in with people when you decide that you fit in with yourself.
Yep. I can talk on that one.
That erases the outcast feeling. The issue is not the other people. The issue is you're not comfortable with you. When you become comfortable with you, it doesn't matter if anybody else is uncomfortable with you. Because you will literally, your energy will end up drawing people who are just like you. And that's the main thing that I think, and I'm no expert in this, but just saying that when you get to the point to where you accept you, your personality, you will embrace who you are and be, hello, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Krista has a mohawk. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, she gets it all the time. Oh my goodness, I wish I had the courage to. Listen, I wish I had the courage to. I wouldn't do it. So like, that ain't my thing. So, but the whole thing about it is you have to embrace something in you, but know that you're beautiful. Know that you have so much going for you. Even if you think that you don't, you are somebody because you are someone's child. And you are special. Mm-hmm. So regardless of what your life has been, what you've gone through, or what you may be going through, understand that you are special and you are worthy. And when you realize that, you will all of a sudden remove the outcast and the fit in, and you will just learn to be.
Right.
And so, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, what I was going to say is, now when you say that, like, I feel like I don't fit in it, then you're trying to push yourself in a place you don't belong.
And I've done that and have been rejected. I've had people smile in my face, phony, and I know what they was doing because they didn't realize I'm pretty good at reading folks. So I understood exactly what they was doing. They didn't make and I got I got mad at myself for putting myself in a situation in which I understood what their response was already going to be. It wasn't their fault. They were who they were always been. Mm-hmm. It was me trying to convince them
to be something different.
To be something different. That ain't them. That's me.
And that's the thing I'll say. If there has been I don't want to say a blessing, but a blessing. That's all I can say because I don't have another word right now. But of Sean's passing.
Uh-huh.
Okay, we had to pause that for a second and start re-recording, and this is like one of the few edits that you ever get because Creasy started crying like a crazy person. As I was saying that, I looked up out the window and I saw the most beautiful rainbow appear right before my eyes, and it really got me verklempt. Did you get a picture of it?
Yeah.
Jeff got a picture of it because I started crying. Anyway, so what I was going to say is this, is that when he passed away, I realized how short life was and how imperative it is to just be you. And what I've noticed is this, is that my true friends have came to me. I found my flock or my group, like my homies, whatever you want to say. They have came to me when I started being me. I had people around me for years, but very few that really actually knew me. Now, a whole lot more people know me, but my circle is smaller.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like law of percentages, a higher percentage knows me even though my group is smaller.
Right.
Go ahead. I'm not crying now.
No, that was perfect. I just want to say this on this section. You said, thank you for doing this, guys. At least I feel like I fit in with you. Absolutely, you fit in with us. I think we all fit in, because you be you. Mm-hmm. There's no judgment. This is a judgment-free zone. So just come as you are, and we just talk. We don't have all the answer. This is just about experiences,
We'll be your friends.
But then I question, if you knew me, would you even like me?
I mean, maybe not. Are you Ted Bundy?
Listen, I'm not playing her game, but of course you would fit in. And of course we would like you. So
I mean, just as long as you're not a serial killer.
So you're absolutely fine because you're good. So I hope this helps you guys out.
Look, he just gave me a dirty look.
No, I mean,
what?
They gave you a dirty look when they heard you. So I ain't gonna say nothing. They heard your mouth.
You so able.
They gave you a dirty look. I didn't say anything.
I just said a serial killer.
Okay.
Look, we're gonna end up on NCIS, and it's gonna be like a podcast. Serial killers.
You gonna be on NCIS. I ain't even going there.
Whatever. Shut up, Gibbs.
So,
Next question.
No, that was we're not.
You're done with yours?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna put a sound bite in here right now. So this is gonna pause. We're gonna put it, and then we're gonna answer the question.
All right, I got a good one. Things that your parents used to do that you hate, and now you find yourself doing them as an adult, and you have the aha moments. Like growing up, I used to hate the smell of bleach in the house. My mom was a cafeteria worker at the school, and she would used to have to come home and bleach all our uniforms, and bleach would get everywhere on my school clothes, and I would hate it because I wouldn't know until I went to school, and there'd be bleach spots everywhere, and I get made fun of. But now I can't keep white things or white clothes clean because they always get dingy looking. And right now, as we speak, I have a whole bunch of towels in my kitchen sink soaking in bleach because they're not white anymore. And I absolutely hate the smell. And I just had an aha moment, like, oh, that's why my mom always washed the white clothes in bleach all the time, because they always got dingy looking, and there ain't no amount of spray and wash, there ain't no amount of detergent that's going to get those clothes or towels or rags back to looking super white. So like silly things like that you're like, oh, that's why mommy did that, or oh, that's why daddy did that. So I just thought of that. Love you. Bye.
Okay. I got this one. There's probably like 40 things I do that is like my mom and dad, both. But the one I'll go with, kind of along the same lines, albeit not bleach. It was the, why does my mom want the stuff off the table? Why does she want the cabinet cleared off? Why make the bed? You know, like, those are my top ones. It used to drive me crazy. Like, I did not understand. No one is in our house but me and, like, my family. If the door is shut to my room and my bed is unmade, what is the big deal? Why does my bed need to be made? She ain't sleeping in my bed. My mom's not sleeping in my bed. I'm the one that sleeps in my bed. If the door's shut and you don't see it, why is it your issue? Well, I literally now tell my son, who is 11, there's a wrinkle in your bed.
Wow. Wow.
And I'm like, straighten your covers, straighten your rug. I want it looking showroom quality when you walk by. I don't want it looking showroom quality for, you know, the people across the road. I want it looking showroom quality for me because I worked hard at it. And when I see it look nice, it makes me feel good. And listen, me and you've had this conversation personally. Mm-hmm. When Christy gets depressed, Christy gets sloppy. Mm-hmm. So when I see their rooms cleaned, it gives me a sense of peace. When my bed is made, it gives me a sense of peace. When I come home and look at my bed and it is made up, I'm like, my bed's so pretty. Mm-hmm. And I feel good about myself. Rather than having a wreck of a day and coming home to a wreck of a room. Mm-hmm. So I would say that the organization and cleanliness of my house and my little bit of OCD-ness with that comes from, I mean, I used to always be like, oh, why is my mom so crazy? She's totally got OCD. Like, why does she need everything perfect? When it's not that she wanted everything perfect, it was that order in her life. Look, I'm talking for mommy. She's going to call me, listen to this podcast, and be like, that is not the reason. But the reason I do it, and I just wondered why she did it, but the reason I do it, order at home, when this stuff is organized, it's one less thing to stress about, and you can focus on other things. These things are controllable. Making a bed is controllable. You know, laundry is controllable. Pipe busting, not controllable. Had my living room or my dining room been, you know, full of laundry and unclean and the pipe had burst. Had the pipe burst, it would have been even more chaos, more laundry, more. But because everything was cleaned and put away, it was just water in the floor. You know what I'm saying? Baseboards, that kind of thing. So when you prep, control what you can control. Clean house is something I can control. There you go.
You know, the one that I picked up is that my mother also worked in a cafeteria. Well, my high school, she worked in the cafeteria. So I had that whole thing that you went through about cleaning stuff. Same thing. But another thing, though, but my mother would, and I got it down terribly, is that my mother could dress. And, well, it wasn't that I could dress, but I have to iron my clothes. Like, my mother would iron everything. Like, I iron my jeans sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's like she, you know, shirts, you going outside, you're not going outside wrinkled. And my mother worked in the cafeteria and would dress professional, come home if she went out, would dress. And it's like now, as a kid, I would love suits. I love suits to this day, you know, or anything. And that's from my mother. And just ironing, I can't go out. You know, you going to go outside dressed like that? No, man. You know, why is she bothering me? And this thing I'm thinking, Jeffrey, you going to go outside dressed like this? That's how I'm talking to myself. And then go back in the house and iron my stuff. So I get it. So that's... it can be torment, but I understand.
It's so hard to be beautiful.
Oh, okay. No, we're just really talking about ironing.
I'm talking about your clothes ironed being beautiful. To me, listen, I have ironed. COVID.
I don't know why you keep playing about that thing. That ain't nothing to play with.
I done had it.
But yeah, the thing is just that.
They can't see you ironing. He literally just did the hand motion of ironing.
Yeah, buddy. So we have those things.
Do you have anything else?
That's it. That's it for today. We had a
you're done
great
with the
question.
podcast.
Yeah, pretty much. We had a great question and answer session. So
Keep them coming.
Yeah, keep them coming. Please keep them coming. We enjoy doing it. It's thought provoking, and so we and thank you for so much for supporting us. It's really been great. Totally different.
Yeah, it literally blows my mind. Blows my mind. I'm so grateful. So grateful. I don't know what to say.
I know what to say.
What?
Until next time.
No. Follow us on.
Oh.
I do know what to say.
Go ahead. Uh-huh.
We have the website up. Oh, have I said that yet?
No, you haven't.
We have the website up. I got so excited I went back to like the speech impediment from second grade. We have our website up, so redandgreen.com. There's a blog on it. Read it. It's cool. I'm going to try to make sure that one of us posts at least every other week on the blog. Give you some updates and stuff like that. Follow us on Instagram at redandgreen.com. Like us on Facebook at Red and Green Colorblind. Twitter. We have one. It's Red and Green. But I don't tweet. Remember, red is red with 2 D's. And green is just green.
Right.
Like the color. But thank you so much. We really appreciate it. If you are listening to us on Apple Podcasts or any other platform, please rate, review, and subscribe. It really helps us out a whole lot. It gets us going up those podcast... What's the word?
Ratings.
Ratings. Yes.
And we're heading up.
And we're heading up. And it's so exciting. Yay. But anyway, we hope that you have a fantastic week.
Yes, we do.
And so, welcome. Not welcome.
Welcome.
Until next time.
Until next time. See you
At
Red and Green, the podcast.
That was a terrible ending.